We are so excited for PFC 30 that comes your way tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. We got a loaded card from top to bottom. This card is absolutely sick. You are going to see an amazing night of mixed martial arts action. If you don't have your tickets, make sure to get them right now. They are going quickly. Or if you have family or friends in different parts of the country or the world, it's very easy. They can watch it live. All they have to do is go on Peak Pass and check out the action as we go live tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 local time with our opening prelim action. With that being said, to host today's press conference, I turn it over to the man who makes these fights happen, a loaded card from top to bottom. Here is Johnny Ross.
Hey everyone, thanks for coming out. We're gonna start taking questions. PFC 30, Frisco, Texas, Comerica Center tomorrow night. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster. Download the Peak Fighting app, and if you can't make it, get the pay-per-view and watch the stack card. So whoever's ready, let's go.
All right, so first and foremost, just a few questions. I usually run down the whole list, so I'll spare everybody a question. But my first question is for Corey. I wanted to ask, coming off a tough fought debut win at PFC 26, how do you see the fight tomorrow going? Another war or a quick finish this time?
I'm not going to go with any sort of prediction, but I do know he's going to bring it just as much as I am. I'm going to expect a hell of a fight. I don't think anything less this time around. I hope for a good fight.
Absolutely. And to your opponent, Xavier. There you are. First, excited to see you make your PFC debut. How do you plan on coming into Peak and showing what you have to offer? Are you looking to use that KO power you have, or go back to your fundamentals?
Close. I mean, it feels good. I mean, to everybody that's gonna be watching, welcome to the Benji Show. If you don't know, you're gonna find out tomorrow night, especially Corey. I mean, I appreciate him taking the fight, but I'm the boogeyman in Texas. I know he's from Australia, but we're gonna drown him out. We're gonna drown him out. And as far as knockout power or just like the basics, whatever comes, whatever he presents is what I'm ready for. I'm a very smart fighter, so whatever he shows, I'm just gonna counter it. Doesn't matter.
Best of luck to both you gentlemen. Coming next to Katie. Coming off two very close, tough losses, what did you alter or change to try to make sure that you get back into the win column, or was it just not your night and nothing needed to change?
Well, I want to say that I think when I looked at fighting, I used to look at it, oh shit.
Put it closer.
Closer? When I looked at fighting, I used to look at it like a barrier to tear down versus a challenge to overcome. And after the Nadine fight, I took a lot of time to understand what went wrong. And I looked at all my film. And, you know, back in the day, I used to think like, oh, if I was really good at jiu-jitsu and I was, you know, my Muay Thai is decent, oh, my boxing's decent, oh, I could do MMA. And I think the last 2 years, you've seen my amateur career, essentially. And I've started training over at Genesis as a cross-training, and I started training with, you know, Desiree, who else? Haley Cowan, Montana, and all the G's at Genesis, part-time. And I've done a lot of work, and I'm really excited to see the fruits of my labor come to fruition tomorrow night.
Absolutely. And for your opponent, Lydia, with a dominant Peak debut in your second pro fight, how do you keep your undefeated record going into tomorrow night?
I just train as hard as I possibly can every day. For me, it's not, you know, fight camps. Every day is fight camp because, you know, nobody really cares about what you're doing day in and day out. Like, only you are responsible for that. And, you know, somebody's going to be undefeated, somebody's going to be world champion, no matter what. And as far as I'm concerned, I just train hard and to make sure that it's me. And that's it.
Can't wait to see the fight, ladies. And then I was going to ask your opponent a question, but since he decided not to show up, you're going to get the question. So as a vet of the game, who, and I did the math, it's not quite, but you almost have more fights than the whole main card. What's your path to stopping the undefeated peak champion, and how do you see your fight going tomorrow?
I see the fight going up my way due to experience. You can't replicate what it's like to be in the cage. The cage experience is completely different than any other sparring experience, any other preparation you would do. The amount of fights that you're putting in and the time that you're putting in there is crucial to moving forward in the sport. I fight for more than just wins in the win column. I fight to inspire strength, courage, and discipline within my communities and help make everybody a little bit stronger.
Look forward to the fight tomorrow, sir.
What's up, guys? What's up, Xavier, man? Excited to see you on the card, man. I know it's hard to get some of you guys matched up. How do you stay focused, you know, when you get a fight, then it falls through, and then, you know, you just got to keep going, and then finally you do get a fight?
You just, I mean, it's a professional level, so you just kind of got to know, like, some guys' hearts are in it, and some guys' hearts aren't in it. My heart's in it, so, I mean, regardless if you show up or not, like, you just got to stay the course, because that's just, it's the fight game, you know? People pull out, people get hurt, injured, whatever, you know? Some people are scared, but they're not going to say they're scared. But those are the ones that sometimes show up, the ones that are scared. You know what I'm saying? You got to face your fears. But for me, it's the same. It doesn't matter who shows up. Like, I'm going to be me regardless. I'm going to be in the gym. I'm a gym rat. So none of that's going to change.
So, and then Corey, he did sign. So how do you feel you match up with him? Have you watched any tape on him or anything?
Oh, of course. Like I said, if you seen the interview I did on YouTube, I know everything about him. I know his team. I know everything. But, I mean, as far as how I match up with him, I'm going to beat his ass. I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I just think I'm on a different level, and he's going to find out tomorrow night. And the team's going to realize, because I feel like they're overlooking me, but everybody overlooks me. So we'll see. Tomorrow I'm going to beat his ass. Watch.
And Corey, and how do you respond to that? I'm not very familiar with you, but like, how do you plan on coming in and playing spoiler to him?
Good luck.
You're going to need it.
And Johnny, you, Smith, you're undefeated. How do you plan on getting that 5th win against Armis over here?
Obviously, this is a step up in my competition. I mean, if you look at my tapology and everything, I mean, I've got 4 finishes, but I'll give it to Armis. He's definitely a step up for me. You know, same thing, watched a lot of film. Me and my team have, you know, foolproof game plan ready to go. I've got 3 different ways to finish, and I know exactly how I'm going to do it, when I'm going to do it. Just watch and see.
And are you not overlooking him, even though he's coming, you know, on a 2-fight loss?
No, I'm not overlooking him at all. I mean, he's fought some killers. I mean, he's got some good finishes. I mean, he beat some tough people, but I'm not overlooking him. I believe in myself, and I know what I got, and I know what I'm bringing.
And Armis, how do you plan to turn things around, get back on the winning streak?
I'm just here so I won't get fined. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I'm coming to fight, regardless of who's in front of me. I've been doing this for over 9 years now. So it's clear, my heart in this. That's all I gotta say.
And Nation and Tyler, man, I think this is a good matchup, a good test for both of you guys. You know, both got 5 wins. I've seen you putting in the work, and Tyler, you know, obviously you're undefeated. Have you watched each other and see how y'all gonna match up tomorrow night? We'll start. You can answer first, Tyler.
Yeah, I've watched a few of his fights. I mean, my plan's simple. It's always to go in there and dominate, and that's what I plan on doing tomorrow night.
And I know, Nation, you said your last fight you didn't get to show some of the training that you picked up when you were over training, out of state and stuff. You planning on using some of that tomorrow night?
We're always evolving, 10 toes down in this game. It's the fight game, but I'm looking forward to showing my evolved version of myself every fight. So I'm looking forward to getting another victory, and it's a good opponent.
Katie, you finally get an opponent. It's hard to get you matched up as well. Your last 2 fights have gone to the distance. What do you plan on doing, hoping that they don't go to the judges?
Let's see, Joe. These questions. If you've been paying attention, if you follow me, I've been working my ass off. Like, I don't go and make videos and like, hey, look at me, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. No, And I just know it's gonna be a different story tomorrow.
Yeah, I see you putting in the work, and Lydia as well. I think this is going to be a good fight to watch too. I'm excited to see both of you. Best of luck to you, and Colton, man, you're here again. I know what you bring every time. Every time you say you're going to do something, pretty much you've done it. Now you're facing Devon Jackson. How are you going to stop this guy right here, man? He's been explosive. He's been taking guys out in the first round. Do you think about that, when you watch his highlights or anything like that? Devon?
Oh, you're talking to me? Colton, all I said, I'm just grateful for this man to sign the contract. Been looking for a fight for a minute. He says he's ready for a storm. I guess we all gonna see.
Yeah.
He's on a win streak. So am I. Somebody's always gotta go, but I'm gonna bring that title back home. So, as you know, I don't make it out the first very often. We'll see if he can weather that storm.
And do you and your team, do y'all have a game plan against Colton coming in this fight, or are you just gonna go in there and kind of, see what the fight brings?
Every fight's a little different. Every fighter's different. When you walk into that cage, I just get zoned in. I come with whatever comes at me. I know he thinks he's underestimated me a little bit, thinking I'm small but mighty. Everybody always underestimates me, and then I show them. So, like I said, I'm always the underdog. You guys can bring me down if you guys think so, but I always hush the crowd. So, bring the excitement. Stay tuned for a show.
And Colton, how do you respond to that?
He says I'm underestimating, but that's the biggest mistake you can make in this game, I understand what he's good at. I understand what he's not good at, Look at my resume. I think it speaks for itself. I'm getting known for finishing these people, getting it done quick, and I'm looking to do that tomorrow. I feel like it's going to happen again.
Man, the main event is going to be a good one, man. I know both you guys, Evan and Chris, you both coaches at your gym. Is there some kind of bragging rights, you think about, because y'all both respect the gyms. Everyone knows you guys. Is there some bragging rights, as far as the coaches, because, you are coaches and you do coach these guys that are fighting up here, so kind of validates, what you're teaching as well, in the gym.
I don't think there's no bragging rights. I just think it goes to show you what kind of leaders we are, where we're gonna step up, and you gotta take the tough fights. You can coach all you want to, but if you're not out there taking the tough fights, or you're not out there going on front line of practicing what you preach, then I don't think you should be coaching or practicing, saying those certain things. So I don't think it's no bragging rights. I just think it's two fighters, two high-level fighters, going to risk it all in front of their friends and family and students. And I think that's how it should be handled, honestly.
Do you feel any added pressure? Because there has been, some talks that if you do win this fight, it could open the door for you to be on the Contender Series.
No, I don't even think about that stuff. I need to think about tomorrow night. If I just go in there thinking, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I can't underestimate somebody like him. So I'm not worried about whatever's being said. The only thing I'm worried about is July 15th. just going in there and trying to do what we can do. This is not an easy fight. Evan is a competitor. He's a veteran, and the last thing I can do is underestimate him, which I'm not, by all means, I'm not.
Hey, Evan, and how do you see your opponent, as a coach and as an opponent tomorrow night? I mean, because you fight nothing but tough guys, and Chris is one of those guys, so he's no pushover.
There are absolutely bragging rights, but the bragging rights come from us doing this process together. This is real ritual combat. This is real fighting. How many times have you guys seen people that teach martial arts that have no business teaching martial arts, that have never put anything on the line, that get some sort of fake black belt within 4 years, then go on to teach other people fake black belt things for their whole lives and end up stealing money, time, energy, and effort from other people, their communities, and the kids. What we're doing here, this is bragging rights. Every single person up here should be bragging that they are true martial artists. I'm excited to fight Chris. Chris is a tough opponent, obviously undefeated. So I'm here to go put on a performance. We both want to win. We're both going to try to tear each other apart in that cage. And that's the beautiful thing of ritual combat, is that we can do that. And then outside of the cage, we can go back to teaching and being friends and making the community better.
Yeah, I think this main card right here is going to be a banger. Well, I'm hoping to see if it tops 29, because 29 was a great card. I want to thank Mr. Ross for coming back to Peak. And what are your thoughts on one of your own fighters, Malik Lewis, getting his second shot at the Contender Series? Because it kind of validates what Peak is doing out here.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for him. We knew it was going to happen. It happened a little quicker than we would have liked, but I think it's good. I think he's got a good matchup, and I think he's going to be successful in the UFC one day for sure. So we're excited.
Appreciate it, man. Good luck to all of you guys, man.
Thank you.
Hey guys, how are you doing tonight? First of all, thank you so much for being here, because without you, we wouldn't have a show, we wouldn't have Peak Fighting Championship, so really, big thanks. Colton, this question's for you. You have a very, very impressive amateur professional career. What has been the key to your success?
Honestly, I truly believe I was born for this. I come from a bloodline of soldiers and fighters, It's just in my blood, I'm one of those weird and special talented guys that, that can do everything. I can wrestle, I can strike. My striking is very unpredictable, and so is my grappling and wrestling, So, I mean, you watch film on me all you want, you think you know what I'm gonna do, but that's not what I'm gonna do, I'm already 2-3 steps ahead of you before I step in there, and I think that's shown. Every time I step in there, that's shown.
So now Peak Fighting is now doing odds. We have an odds maker that is doing the whole card. Now they have you as a slight underdog. Why do you think that is?
Because he's talking about D2 wrestling, D2 wrestling this, All-American. I could have done that too. Little does he know, I was a very successful high school wrestler. I could have went that route, but I didn't. I've been training for this since I was a little kid, and I'm gonna show it. He ain't gonna be able to hold me down like that. He ain't gonna be able to go in there and just take me down at will. He knows in wrestling, size plays a big factor, and everyone's gonna see it. I don't think he's gonna be able to do the things he's saying he's gonna do.
Absolutely. And Jackson, what do you have to say about that? Because you
woulda-
are ranked a little bit higher on the odds than your opponent.
All I gotta say is woulda, coulda, shoulda, boss. You continue to bring up my wrestling accolades, so it seems like you're a little scared upon that. So,
I ain't worried about
as you guys
nothing.
all see, my hands do work as well. So y'all gonna find out one way or another. If you try to grapple, we gonna grapple. We on our feet, you gonna see my hands get to work. So we gonna bring that smoke. Let's get it.
Colton, you can answer.
Yeah, we're gonna get it, and you're gonna feel that power, you're gonna feel that range, and you're gonna feel everything I got to offer you tomorrow. And then we'll see how you're feeling within the first minute of the fight.
That same power that you looking real string bean this morning, it's all good. We'll see.
Look how big I am now, buddy.
All right, I'm trying to let you know.
Thank you, guys. Tyler, we've spoken a lot actually in the past, so I'm very familiar with your fight career. You've been extremely active as a fighter. What are you going to impose tomorrow to keep your victories?
I'm just gonna do myself. if you watch my fights, it's all the same. I mean, I'll show whatever I have to show, but yeah, I'm trying to just dominate. And yeah, pretty much just go out there and do my thing.
Now, Nation, how do you feel you are going to test Grimsley tomorrow?
It's a grind against grind. It's got the bigger grind.
So confident. Let's go, guys. Chris, again, I've also known you for quite some time, but you're riding such a long, impressive career, and you're a fighter that I have seen win a fight and have an interview and not be happy and content with your victory. A lot of fighters riding on a fight streak like you would kind of coast to the bigger shows because this fight does have a lot of implications. Why take on Evan Cutts? He's a very dangerous man.
Everybody preaches they want to go to the high level, but they may not want to take those tough fights to get you to the high level. And it's just another opportunity for me. I know what he brings to the table, so I need to challenge myself. I've challenged myself, I feel like I have, but Evan's a huge challenge. That's not I don't think a lot of people would have took this fight. Oh, they would have been like, oh man, that's a dangerous fight, or no, you don't need to do that. Let's go a different route. We're gonna take the fight, and if I'm ready, like everybody say, or I think I'm ready for UFC, it'll show tomorrow night. And those are the type of fights you gotta take. People can't keep ducking and dodging all these tough fights, you gotta take those kind of fights if you wanna get to where you gotta go.
And that is why you are the current champ, and that's why Peak Fighting, that's like what we're all about here. Now, Evan, man, you've done so much in this sport, and what more do you have to prove? Where do you want to go?
I want 40 fights before I'm 40. It's about the process. It's about changing the world of martial arts. The world of martial arts is full of con artists. The thing that the cage does is expose what works, what doesn't work. Thank God for the UFC founding it. Thank God for all the other promotions that have been building up. Thank God for promotions like Peak that give us this opportunity to come in, to be able to perform and show our martial arts. To me, it's about just stacking as many fights as I can get in, as many wins as I can get in, because that's what's important to, again, inspire that strength, courage, that discipline that comes with real tests and not hiding in some dojo in the back of some strip mall. But seriously, this is, I love the competition. I love that in the cage I get to be the butcher. I typically do better against undefeated fighters than other veterans. I think I'm 8-2 right now against undefeated fighters. But I'm excited to put on another show tonight, another performance tonight. I'm excited to come back, fight for Peak again. I'm very impressed by the way this promotion carries itself, by the way the media team carries themselves, by the way Johnny Ross is able to put all this together. So thank you, sir.
Who's that guy? Who's Johnny Ross? Johnny Ross, this is a question for you. Where do you find these fighters? You're sitting down, you're probably on the couch with your family, and you're putting together these fight cards. How does this all just come about?
You're gonna get me in trouble. No, man, it's just,
That's what I'm here for.
yeah, it's, man, like work, grind. They're grinding to fight. I'm grinding to make the best fights and get the best athletes I can. So I'm gonna make good fights, and we're gonna have great fights, and we're gonna keep growing, and it's wonderful. So yeah, work all the time and just fix problems. If a fight falls off, like Texas MMA Roundup was talking about fights dropping off. I don't know what he's talking about, but maybe other promotions. But we're gonna fill the fight. We're not gonna a fight drops off, I'm filling it. So yeah.
Absolutely. And this is for the ladies, and again, I'm a female athlete, so I get you guys coming up here, and there's so much courage. Katie, what do you want to tell other female athletes out there and fighters, per se?
I think what I would like to tell other females who would want to get into fighting, if you're thinking it, just go and do it, right? Don't just think about it for like a week or so. Like, no, go, Google, find a gym. And then my next point to that is, if you don't feel comfortable in that gym, try another gym. And I think you will find the people you vibe with, and they will help you grow.
what has been your favorite point about being and I hate saying female fighter because you guys are fighters. You're not just females, we're your fighters. But as a female fighter, what is your favorite point in the sport being a female athlete?
You know, I think if you ever saw me roll, you'll laugh your butt off because I laugh my butt off. Like, I call it break dancing on people, and I find so much joy rolling. And I hope that, you know, other people have that same joy too. I'm weird like that. I'm like the jiu-jitsu, come on, bro. But yeah.
And Lydia, that same question for you. How do you feel being a female athlete, a professional female athlete? Because the stats are so slim, there's so few of us.
I mean, I don't really think about, like you said, I don't think about it as like a female athlete perspective. And, you know, now we're in a day and age where, you know, it's not that slim anymore. Maybe 10 years ago, it's like, yeah. But now there's more competition, there's more females, the females are getting better. But as far as that goes, I just think if I was gonna tell like a female something that wanted to do this, I would tell you, don't feel like you have to sexualize yourself in this sport. I feel like a lot of them, and it's no hate to any of them, a lot of them feel almost obligated to, because it's a male-dominated sport, and it doesn't have to be that way. You can be respected, and you can be a good fighter, and you can win, and you can be respected. And I think that's, you know, my message to women.
What I find so valuable is you're putting yourself on such a powerful platform to make a difference. And definitely want to thank you, ladies, for doing that. So to all of the fighters, thank you so much for being here. Johnny, thank you for putting this fight card together. And I'll see you tomorrow night.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? We're going to take one or two more questions, or we can be done and move on to the weigh-in. Good? All right, guys. We'll see you at the weigh-in.